Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Leos in late April as we move into another zodiacal season? Let's take a little look. What energies, messages, insights we could take a peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo in late April. What's the vibe? What's the energy here for my good friends? There we go. Nice and quick. Thank you very much. Okay. Very reminiscent for one reason or another. Now, this could also represent communication, lots of other stuff. I feel like this is one of those oracle cards that has a lot of depth to it, a lot of different layers. It's not always just thinking about the past or things popping back up. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this lovely lady here. She has her eyes closed. She's holding on to a locket. There's a little baby doll. There's like letters and notes. So to me, it's someone that is very much deep in thought. So for some Leos, maybe there's certain things that are just on your mind. Not necessarily plaguing your mind, but to me, it's like, yeah, I'm thinking about this a lot, or I'm putting a lot of focus on something. So that's the first thing that's popping out to me when this card shows up. But it's always reminiscing too. That's another thing. So for some Leos, there may have been things that have already happened, already went down, that it's like, why am I thinking about this again? This could also sometimes be a little signal like, hey, something's going to pop back up on you. So not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. If it's not you taking a trip down memory lane, it could just be something swinging back around, right? And that's common. That happens from time to time. The other sub notes to this card, obviously with the letters and the paper, it's either wanting to talk about something, wanting to say a piece of your mind, or this could be a conversation coming up of importance. So we'll definitely want to look into this further. I would say the big challenge with this card is overthinking, though, like just overthinking something into the ground. So we're going to leave her at it there. We're not going to bother her anymore. She has her eyes closed. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Leos. What's happening in late April? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. The energy looked pretty good to me, and it was titled An Explosive Win, so I hope you did have one, or I hope one's getting lined up for you. The elemental mixture was like a lot of fire and air, and it just felt complimentary for the Leo collective. Now, for a lot of you, you might start having some breakthroughs or things that just rush in. So it was very claimable last week. And I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes, right? Whether it's monetary, whether it's work, whether it's personal relationships, you name it. But let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Leos, please. What's going on here in late April for my good friends? What is happening? Thank you. Okay, Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth. Okay, stern, serious type of energy right here in the front end. I like it. There's a certain strength to this card, especially how it's popping out now. And I love to start a reading with action cards and aces. So we're starting okay. Let's get a couple more. What do we have here for Leo, please? What is going on? Thank you. I think you had this last week as well. We have the 6 of Wands, the card of victory and wins. That's one of your power cards too. This is looking nice again. I'm going to try to not go too over the top, Leo, but I feel like if you've been in a time where things have been clunky or dragging you down, to me, I feel like the energy is lifting. It's releasing. We have the same elemental mixture that we had last week as well. Right here on the back end, we have the beautiful 7 of Wands. Not always easy, right? Like this energy is not always simple. It's not always easy, but it's worth it, if that makes sense. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I already told you about the elemental mixture, how last week we had that explosive wind-based type of energy. It seems like that vibe could still be sticking around for a lot of you, because obviously we have a lot of fire with the wands. Now fire represents the realm of action, making moves, seeing progress. It's that internal combustion within us. It's passion, it's drive, it's motivation. So I like it. The challenge when there's a lot of fire energy is it can be a little volatile, it could be a little unpredictable. You don't know which way it's going to go or how it's going to happen. We do also have the air right here. So that mental action we were seeing with the first card, Ace of Swords, is all about the mindset. But I feel like the way the energy plays here could be very beneficial for you. Now, of course, there's a lot of reading left to go, but just judging on that, I think we could be on the right track. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, we are starting with the Ace of Swords, the sword of truth. Now, all aces are opportunities. All aces are offers. Aces are the first card of each suit, so they represent new things, fresh things, tons of potential with this card. Now, this one does have a different complexion from the other aces. That is true. It can represent the mindset, your mind state. Usually, this is a card of intelligence to me. So for a lot of Leos in this time, whether you're feeding your brain with information, whether you're seeing things clearly, this is a card of strategy and planning as well. Sometimes the sword of truth pops out. You could be very straightforward in the way you communicate, extra in this time. Listen, I know a lot of Leos. I know you're all very honest people for the most part, straight to the point, tell it like it is. That's what this card represents. So that could be a good thing. Some of you might be trimming certain things out of your life with this Ace of Swords, but remember, it's fresh and it's new. Now, the challenge specifically with the Ace of Swords, sometimes it can represent serious things, either a serious situations or things that you need to keep an eye on, that you need to take seriously. But this has a lot of potential, and just like with all aces, if you don't seize it, it can wither away. Moving to the center, we do have the Six of Wands. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it showed up for you last week. Someone let me know in the comments for sure. But we see this individual there marching in a parade, and you see them, they have the laurels over their head. They're being celebrated. This is a card of complete and total victory. It's wins, it's victories of all different kinds. And I just love the action and the movement of this card. It could represent recognition. This could represent being under the spotlight or gaining some sort of attention or recognition from the works you do or just who you are. So I do like this, especially if you're the type of person where like you're a hard worker, you've been putting a lot of energy into something. When I see this card, it's like, oh yeah, no, you will get recognized for the things that you've done. This could be a neutral energy, but I always say with the Six of Wands, it can represent attracting more attention than you normally do. And that's saying a lot for the Leos, right? You guys naturally get a lot of attention. When I see the Six of Wands, it's like, someone could have their eye on you, all right? Or there might be someone you need to keep a close eye on. Now, the downside of this card, it could be a little egotistical. So this could be spirit saying, be confident, don't be cocky. So there could be certain situations where confidence is key, but don't be too cocky about it. Either that or you might be dealing with a person that's like quite inflated when it comes to the ego. So we'll see what's up with this. I'm feeling like it's okay initially. Now moving to the back end, we do have a bit of a neutral card as we get that set down. We have the Seven of Wands. I'll give you the positives first of this. Now we see this individual, it looks like they're up on a wall, fending a bunch of people off, right? The positives of this card, it's determination. It's someone that says, you know what, it doesn't matter what you put in front of me, how many roadblocks, how many problems, I'm going to keep pushing, I'm going to keep fighting, I'm going to get through it. It's a never quit, never say die type of attitude. So I really like it for that, especially since I'm a fire sign myself. That's kind of how we roll, right? But the challenge of this, like I'm sure you can guess, it could represent problems. It could represent bumps in the road. It could represent test after test after test from the universe. Sometimes it could represent feeling cornered. So some of you might be dealing with situations where you're feeling backed into a corner in one way or another. But when we take this whole spread into account, I feel like this could be really, really nice, especially when we're talking about effort paying off for you. I just have to see, because it is a card of conflict. We do have a lot of fire, so the energy could swing in a lot of different ways. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Leo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. See what's happening for Leo. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ace of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Ace of Swords time. Why is that sword of truth here? Please. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, just like I was saying, we have Judgment in reverse here. I'm getting two different messages here. First and foremost, this could be something popping back up, like I said, and with this very first card in the beginning, Judgment in reverse sometimes represents things looping back around. So for some of you, this could be a return, whether it is a person, a situation. It's like, okay, I'm familiar with this, or I kind of knew this was going to happen. It's giving me that type of vibe. So for a lot of you, I feel like you could kind of read the tea leaves about something with how it's going to go. That's another little message I'm picking up here. It's like, no, yeah, listen, I know, I already knew. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. So those are the first two things I'm picking up here. But a third message I'm picking up with the Ace of Swords and Judgment in reverse, it's like, take your time. There is no rush. So there could be certain things, certain processes you're going through, whether it's new things coming in or things popping back up where Spirit's like, take a breather. Take a second. There is no rush. Things are going to shake out how they need to. So again, this stuff here in the front is a very juicy way to start the reading. Now, Judgment, even in the reverse, it is a card of spiritual protection. So for a lot of you, just know you got that spiritual insulation or that spiritual connection, which is really, really nice. So just to sum it up, before we keep pressing forward, watch out for things popping back up and returning in a very big way. For another portion of you, maybe slow it down. There could be something where Spirit's like, hey, just take your time with this. No need to rush it. And for another portion of you, it's like you kind of already know something before it happens. It's like, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew. I'm reading the tea leaves. I know, like, I'm not surprised. So take that however it is, whether it's like someone you're dealing with or a situation in general. It's like, I'm not surprised. I saw this happening. Let's keep moving forward. It doesn't sync the reading, but just a lot of stuff came through when I pulled that card out. So you just take whichever one hits for you. Let's move over to the Six of Wands and see how the energy keeps moving. Again, though, the way this energy is moving with the fire, air, now Judgment, this is Plutonian change-based type of energy. It's like very fired up. So let's see what the Six of Wands has for you. Why is it here? Thank you. I mean, this feels really nice to me. We have the Ten of Cups in the upright, one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. So, like, getting that result you want. Now, for a lot of Leos, Spirit could just be telling you, hey, in this time, it's about defining what you want. Okay, so whether it's something you're already working towards or something that you're already in the process of, if that's the case, the energy looks beautiful with the Six of Wands, Ten of Cups. Again, just like last week, it's a big win. It's a massive win or victory coming your way. So again, whether that is personal connections and relationships, whether home and family, or whether you name it, it's like there's a very positive energy coming. You will get what you want. You are going to get what you want. Okay. There's just this slow moving type of energy about it too, or the need to pace yourself, just like we had here in the front end. There's like a need to like slow it down for one reason or another. But I love the potential of this. I really do. Ten of Cups is one of the best cards out there. So again, for some of you, this is just a big broad net, victorious win-based type of energy. You're going to get what you want. It's coming one way or another. But we're just going to keep moving. We'll take it. We'll take that win. We'll take that W. And let's see what shows up with the Seven of Wands. Okay. I mean, tens can sometimes represent a close of a cycle, and with the Ten of Cups, it's like a happy ending of some sort. So yeah, I like it. Claim that, my friends. But let's see what's up with the Seven of Wands, and then we'll do a quick recap before we close it down. So why is the Seven of Wands here, please? Or before we get into the shadow card, we got to do that before we close it down. So what's the Seven of Wands here? Thank you. Okay, so Seven of Swords in reverse underneath it. Now, if we were going to receive the Seven of Swords, this is how we do want to receive it. Now, I feel like once it's given me the vibe of once I clear something off my plate, another thing pops up. Okay, and life could be like that sometimes, right? It's like, all right, well, once I got that piece of information, new questions arise. Or once I cleared that situation out, another one popped up. So this could most definitely represent Spirit testing you. The good thing about this reading as a whole, I see you getting your desire. So like I said earlier, it's very important for you to define what it is you want, the outcome that you want, because you can and will have it. But when I see the Seven of Wands with the Seven of Swords, it's like, I mean, here we go again. It's like, all right, well, I just got that. I just completed that. What's next? So it's like Spirit throwing another thing your way, or another thing to conquer, if that makes sense. Now, the Seven of Swords, if it was in the upright, I'd be a little concerned, right? This could represent sneaky people. It could represent not so savory individuals with not so savory motives. It can also just represent the hidden, the unexpected. So when we see it in reverse underneath a card like the Seven of Wands, sure, this could be an unexpected or a surprising test from Spirit, or a situation that pops up. It's like once things are going good, boom, then this situation pops up out of nowhere. It's like, all right, the energy was just starting to flow. What's happening? But at the same time, I feel like everything's going to be okay. So that's the main thing I'm picking up here on the back end. Either once something's cleared away, another thing takes its place, or it could be a surprising or unexpected situation back here. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Overall, I think your reading is very positive. It is a bit of a mixed bag. That's okay, though. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we started with the Ace of Swords and Judgment in reverse. So, of course, things could pop back up in this time. Don't be surprised if they do, or things that you're familiar with. I also got the vibe of not being surprised about something, where it's like, no, I kind of knew this was going to happen. I kind of knew this is the process. So it's like I'm seeing things a couple of steps ahead, which is very good. For another portion of you, could be Spirit telling you to slow it down, slow your roll, pace yourself. Moving to the center, we have the Six of Wands with the Ten of Cups. Listen, you're going to get something that you really want. Again, this is like massive energy of win and victory stacked up here in the center. That's one of the best alignments you could ask for. So I feel like it's great. If for those of you that are drifting at the moment, Spirit could be asking you to like really define goals, aspirations, and things to push towards, because if you define it, you will attain it. Moving to the back end, we have the double sevens here. We have the Seven of Wands with the Seven of Swords in reverse. So it's like, okay, once something clears away, another thing pops up. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. It's like, yeah, I got this win. What's next? It's kind of cyclical in that way. So it could be like surprising tests from the universe or Spirit. Another thing I was picking up here is situations just popping up where it's like, okay, the energies just started flowing good, or I was just getting into a groove, and then boom, this situation pops up out of nowhere. So watch out for the surprising or unexpected situations. But yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Leos. Let's see what's happening. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. And I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the lovely Leos in the shadows, please? What is happening? Thank you. Okay, Eight of Wands, so the action, the forward movement, just like we saw last week, just like we're seeing this week, for the most part, tons of fire and air. Now, the Eight of Wands is communication. It could be a talk of some sort, which, I mean, we could even get that on the front end of the main part of the spread, too. This is one of my bigger cards of getting things off your chest. So for a lot of Leos, just like in this time, be extra straightforward with what you want, the things you're expecting. This is a card of big action. So when I see all this stuff, it's like there's something here about momentum. So keep up the momentum, keep pushing, keep the energy moving. Just like we saw last week, and even this week to a smaller extent, though, the Eight of Wands could be very unpredictable. So watch out for certain individuals that pop off a little extra with the way they speak. It could be someone like bringing stuff up out of nowhere, similar to what we see here on the back end. It's like, all right, where the hell is this coming from? The Eight of Wands could very much be in that same vein. So just watch, like, keep pushing forward, but just watch that this energy doesn't get too wild, especially with communication. Okay, like you could be straightforward and not be mean. I don't know why I'm saying that, but we're just going to leave it at that, Leo. That's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The April subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me and get a little further insight into your situation, you can check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The April calendar is up, so feel free to go check it out and book. But for the April subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies, not 2, of one of my favorite decks of all time, the Gilded Tarot Royale. It's a gorgeous deck and it works fantastic. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could pick one tarot card to best describe you, which one would it be? Are you the Empress? Are you the High Priestess? Are you the Emperor, the Moon, the Sun? You put your answer down in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.